Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Blissfully Unaware. Now, Bobby, you're telling me a little something about a show that you and the wifey was watching on Netflix.
Yes.
This is a new segment that we're going to start called "What Are You Watching on Netflix?" And we're going to do it in a British accent, so that way makes it more fancy.
Well, that's how you're going to say the intro. I'm not going to
Yeah.
speak like that.
Oh, you can if you want. Try it out. Little
No.
British. No? No?
No, sir.
Someday I'm going to get you to speak in an British accent.
Okay, I'll have to practice that because my sling blade's near perfection, so I might have to start on a different voice.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, so this is kind of caveating in a way off what we talked about in the first section about the individuals that took the flag down
Mm-hmm.
on the bridge and put up a white. You know, if they are involved in a terrorist cell, this is kind of, in a way, going off this. So,
Right.
Chelsea and I were watching Netflix, and of course it's, like, what do we want to watch? What are we going to watch? TV show? Are we going to watch a movie? So we went through the 15 minutes of browsing and deciding on what we wanted to watch. So I was nearly done with my food, and I said, hey, let's just watch 30 Days. And so we clicked on that one, and we decided to watch the one where it's a gun activist. She's a Boston lady. She lives in Boston, and she's supposed to go 30 days to a family that's in a rural town, and they're a gun-loving family. They promote guns. The guy was a Marine, so he's just, die-hard gun fan, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
What I want to talk about to you is this is her battle, how she sees the world. She says, I view that no one deserves to have the right to own a gun unless they are soldiers or law enforcement, because those are the only people that they're the ones that protect you. And she also says this, I cannot think about what guns are made for killing, she says, and she lives in a part in Boston that is crime filled. There's murders, everything happens within this area. And she says, just a week ago there was 4 murders in one weekend. Guns make me sick. And then she throws in, 9 years ago, my best friend, my therapist, one of her patients shot her dead. And so that's her fight. That's her everything that she tries to dispute with. So this guy, she goes into this family. It's a dad. He has a son, a 15-year-old son. He's just been divorced. This guy's a Marine. He has a full-time job. He has his guns. And she goes in there and she says, I don't feel comfortable in this house because there's too many guns. I don't feel comfortable. And this guy is very educated on weapons. He was in the military. He has no criminal record whatsoever. And what the part of the show was, she has to go work at a gun store, not a pawn shop. She worked at a gun store for the 30 days, and she has to learn the nomenclature and learn about the weapons, and then she has to fire a couple weapons. That's part of the agreement for her going to doing this. And of course, her first couple of days, her and the gentleman of the household, they have their. He just asked her. He says, "Why don't you like guns?" So she goes into her past and her spiel about it. And this is what made me. I stopped the show. I didn't finish watching it. Chelsea finished watching it. She goes to the gun range, and she goes to the gun range, and there's about 8 people there. They're all family or friends, and they're firing their weapons. They're practicing marksmanship, and she's completely disgusted. Every time she hears the weapon go off, she says it just does something to her. It makes her have flashbacks of her therapist friend that was shot and dead. So she goes to go clay shooting, and the people are professional. They're telling her how to fire it, everything. So she pulls.
But someone who
Very liberal.
very liberal, and she doesn't understand that,
It's in the Bill of Rights, all this. So this is what makes me stop. She pulls the trigger off this shotgun, shooting clay pigeons, and she starts bawling. She starts crying and doing this whole scene, and I was just disgusted, and I walked off, and I started doing homework, and Chelsea finished watching it. But all in all, at the very end of for 30 days, she changed her views. She says, I believe that people who are educated, that, grow up...
Which I agree with that. I think if you're going to own a weapon, you should be educated on how to use that weapon.
Yes, I completely agree. You should go through a 2-day course, everything. And then, of course, you need to have a clean background. I completely agree. But anytime you go into a gun store, pawn shop, anywhere, other than, the gun like weekend expos and stuff like that, you have to do an FBI background investigation.
Yeah.
Right then and there. There's certain high misdemeanors you can't have, and of course a lot of the felonies somebody can't have on their record, or they can't own a firearm. I completely agree upon that. But there's no right for somebody to sit there that I have no right, or I shouldn't own a firearm to protect me and my family and protect my property from anything. I don't care who it is. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. And I'll say that till the day that I'm buried 6 feet in the ground.
Right. Which I agree.
That was my spiel. That's what I wanted to talk about.
We're going to take one last quick break, and then I'll be back with what I've been watching on Netflix. Be right back with more Blissfully Unaware.